Hello, world. Today, I'm going to go back to a little bit about the spiritual things. Actually had a Facebook conversation with somebody over the weekend, and I always find it very interesting how people put God in a box, be it a church or a book. Again, I learned God from the people. Because people are the only ones that are actually very vocal about God and like to tell you about God. Um, yes, there are books, many books about God. Every religion has a different way of expressing the written way of how they believe in God, again, as well as their ceremonies and how they their traditions and such like that in their beliefs of God. So God is not in a box. God is actually all around us. I remember once upon a time when I was very, very young, and I remember it being a springtime. I always keep remembering that it must have been like right after a long winter because my mom and I had gone to church and we were in the basement for the donuts and coffee and whatever, the social time afterwards. And it was not a whole lot of fun for me, quite honestly. I was bored out of my mind. I wanted to be outside. Oh, I wanted to be outside in the sun. And I had a little hissy fit. Of course I did. I didn't want to be stuck in a basement with a bunch of adults being completely bored. And I did. I had a little piss fit and wanted to be outside. And I was used to being able to be outside and being out on my own on a regular basis. It wasn't something that my mom ever really kept away from me. I could go outside, I could be out there. Usually was at the park across the street from my apartments on a regular basis, so why I couldn't go outside was completely beyond me. And I got quite a few people in my family that were part of that church, but there was somebody that had come up to my mom and decided that whoever she was, I still don't remember for sure who she was. I don't remember ever actually knowing her. She was just somebody that had gone to church that day and decided she wanted to take it upon herself to tell me and reprimand me for having that little attitude in God's house. And so she took me outside. That was awesome. As soon as I got outside, my little fit dissipated. And she decided you do not do that in God's house. And I looked at her and I put my hands up and I looked around. This is all God's house. No, that is God's house, and you do not act like that in God's house. Okay. That's when I first knew, again, very, very young, that people got it wrong. You don't put God in a box. God is not stuck in a house. God is not stuck in a book. God is all around us. God will always be all around us. It's how we celebrate our life that we have been given in so many ways that is an expression, the best expression. But to keep God in a box or a building or a book is completely, dare I say it, ludicrous. So, when it comes to religions, again, I was born, raised, baptized, and educated in the Catholic manner. I say born Catholic because I was born into a Catholic family. So I really had no choice in my religion, but my religion has not ever been bad to me. It's been how people use it. Same as this book and how people use this book. Very poorly. And again, they keep God in a box. Another one. So if I were to be able to pick my own religion, I would say Gnostic, definitely. I think that is probably one of the most beautiful ones. I think it is more confusing to many people compared to the Bible in so many ways because it speaks in a circular manner versus a limiting matter. The Bible really speaks in a very, very limiting manner. But the Gnostic, everything that I've come across, I haven't actually gotten my hands on a book. I have heard Thunder Perfect Mind. I have heard The Truth. I have heard 2 different creation stories that are written. I think one of them was Thomas, and I can't remember the other one for sure. But again, all of this has been stuff that I have found online and gotten to hear. I haven't actually gotten myself a book, gotten my hands on a book. And I've even gone to the library when I've gone to the library and asked, and I can't actually find an actual book of the scripts, the books, I guess you would say, as they are. But everything that I have heard of the Gnostic and such like that, I definitely have always embraced and found to be one of the best ones, because it speaks in a very, very circular motion when it comes to the history of God. It doesn't discount a male or a female on any level. It kind of still inter-exchanges them in so many ways. While she was an idea, he was a creation, and then vice versa through the whole thing. So I definitely think that is the one I embrace the most when it comes to things, even though it's the one I probably know least of, because I don't know of anybody that actually comes out and says they're Gnostic. I've actually met one person that does work towards that whole end of things, but he also works with other entities as well. And actually, mostly in the female sense of things, definitely on that. And then my second choice would be pagan. And the biggest part of that is because we would be coming back to the land and the tradition and the honoring of the land and the spirit. In many ways, when it came to Christians, and I do not like that term, but Christians coming to this land here in America and looking at the native peoples of the lands, they looked at them as pagan people because of the fact that they were honoring spirit and land. They did not, they of course themselves had God stuck in a box. God was in a church or in a book. It wasn't of the people and of the everything essence around us. It was in a church or in a book. So I think, in many ways, I embrace a lot of the native ways that are here around, especially where I've lived, Arizona and Montana, in so many ways. And so paganism to me is just that whole honoring of the spirit, the energy, the earth, the people, and coming back into the actual life part of things instead of putting God in a box. So that is all I'm going to say today. Let's not keep God in a box. Let's remember God is all life. And that includes what has come from the earth in any way and has been recreated by man into something new. It's still life. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have fun. Be safe. And get healthy.